Moving day is finally 3 days away, so it's time to redecorate and restore the flat. So of course I have to get the paint from somewhere, which means an essential range and B&M trip. I may have bought a little bit more than just paint and essentials, but to be fair, the flat needs a good clean. And of course we can't forget about the Dettol, the queen of cleaning products. As you can see, everything starts off great, the prep has been done and the painting has started, when all of a sudden this happens. The wall is literally peeling off. So like any normal person, I have a bit of a cry and I order food. So of course the food looks and tastes amazing. And this is when I decided that it was all getting a bit too much and I was going to hire a painter. So of course I send him over my £90 deposit and I wait about the flat for 5 hours the next day for him to never show up. When I finally realised the other painter wasn't going to show up, I started on the other bedroom and decided what I wanted to do with the paint peeling. Although this was really frustrating, I thankfully didn't have any issues like this in the other bedroom and everything went really smoothly. I also made a little trip to B&Q and got this long roller, which was a lifesaver. Bear in mind, I'm 5 foot, so this saved my life. So on this trip to B&Q, we picked up some primer and thankfully we already had some sandpaper, so we just sandpapered the wall completely down and primed it. Basically just giving it a fresh start. While this was drying, I started on the burn mark and look how satisfying this is. Ooh, I loved it. Like, don't tell me that roll wasn't satisfying. Again, this long paint roller literally saved my life. I was able to get to the top of the walls without even having to stand on a step ladder. It was great. But after a long day, it was finally home time and I needed to refresh after a stressful day. So of course I head home and come back for the final day of painting, as moving day is tomorrow. So thankfully the bedrooms were complete at this point and all that needed to be done now was the hall and the living room. At this point I was completely caked in paint, but I didn't even care because I just wanted to get the flat done. I was so stressed. Thankfully the hall and the living room didn't take very long, so I had time to touch up the peeling paint in the bedroom. But it wasn't all so bad because I finally got to peel the tape off the walls, which was so satisfying. Just watch that. Oh. At this point you could finally see a difference with the flat. It just looked so much fresher and so much cleaner, which I was so happy with. But of course I couldn't just leave it here. Moving day was tomorrow and the flat needed cleaned. So of course, like anyone, I took a little trip to B&M and I picked up a new hoover because my old one was just not up to standard. And to be fair, this only cost me £70 and I love it. It's got a little LED light so I can see all the dust on the floor. It's great. And of course, I can't just buy a hoover and not buy a new mop. So I bought a new mop to clean my floors with, and of course the Dettol and bleach combo came out. I honestly think my frontal lobe has developed because I love mopping so much. I think it's so satisfying. Bear in mind, the flooring had only been put down 3 days ago and I was honestly so shocked at how dirty the floor was after I cleaned it. And of course, lastly, all doors, door handles and switches had to be cleaned. Finally, the flat was done and it was time to head home, ready for moving day tomorrow. To stay up to date on this journey, make sure to follow and I'll see you all for moving day tomorrow.